Well, I don't know if you know the story of his background. Do you?
I know. I saw like an interview with
Like, he his parents died. He was in foster care, and then his foster parents died. Like, really awful, tragic background.
Right.
But I mean, surely there are normal people who are like
Right.
just evil.
I don't know. It's like a next level thing because just normal mental illness. It's like there's so many people suffering with mental illness. You would think that there would be even more crazy things going on in the world, but it almost feels like it's. I don't know. I'm not even religious. I don't know, but I definitely felt like some evil shit. And like when I see those stories on the news, I'm like, that's so fucked up and evil. Like
how?
Sandy Hook. Like literally, what? Like how?
Yeah. No, I can believe it's unfathomable.
Yeah.
I do want to talk. You know what? Why don't we? I wanted to talk about conspiracy videos, but why don't we just segue into where we're going? Because I saw that you made a tweet. We'll come back to the conspiracy videos because I love this shit. This is so good. But I want to go down here when we're talking about the Florida shooting. Let me start by showing this tweet, which basically would make me think like, I want to talk to Shane
You
about this.
brought the documents from the institute.
I'm so fucking heartbroken and pissed that
Great
it happened in
work,
Florida.
okay.
I just don't
All you
understand
have-
why the world is so fucked up. Sorry, I don't have something more eloquent to say. I'm just enraged and so sad. And I felt the same way. I'm like, man, like,
It was exactly what I was feeling when I saw that tweet.
people say it's like the 8th school shooting in 1 year.
18.
18th?
Yeah.
Yes. In like 2 months. Yeah.
I don't even know
There's
how it's possible.
so much wrong with American society that this shit keeps them. These poor fucking kids. When I was a kid, I didn't have any fucking drills. Nobody expected someone to come shoot up my school. And apparently, because I was listening to these kids who were at the school talking about like, we've done drills, we're all prepared for this shit. It's like, what? This is part of what something that they have to actually worry about. Something that always pissed me off that I think makes it worse. And it's funny how much shit YouTube gets from the media. The media's coverage of these guys, they say their name, they glorify them, they put them on the scoreboard, the school shooter high score list, like it's a fucking arcade game. Like, this guy got 18. It's the second most deadliest, only by these other two guys. They have the high score. It's like, stop saying their name.
I've always
Stop
got something interesting
advertising
for
their
people
school.
like you.
It's part of the allure. And
My
that,
information
there's
might
so
well
much
be
more
of
that's
use
wrong,
to you,
but that one
stalker.
always pisses me off because the media has got this
Come
like,
here.
do-goodies.
I've always got something interesting for people
the
like
facts.
you. My
They're
information
doing it
might
so
well
that
be of
people
use to you,
watch,
stalker.
and they're selling ads on it, and they're marketing this shit. This is a story that I've mentioned several times in the podcast, but just
When
as
is
a
all
quick
this
aside,
going to end?
during the Vegas shooting, I was watching CNN, and they rolled a 5-minute long commercial during the live broadcast while it was happening, and the same
Come here.
brands like Dr. Pepper
I've
and
always
Coca-Cola
got
and all these
something
sons of
interesting
bitches.
for people
And it's
like you.
it's just so sick, dude. It's so sick.
Yeah, except, and we say, a dick joke, and we can't get an ad, but you can advertise on people.
can't go.
Like, it's so crazy to me how
It's
TV works.
It is insane.
And they don't care. That's why when the Me Too thing happened, and obviously I'm all for that, but what was frustrating was, all these talk shows and all this news coverage of it was very much like, it's like, first of all, you all know about Harvey Weinstein. Everybody knew. And the fact that I knew, and I'm not in Hollywood, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
My mom knew, and she's just going to church and Starbucks, and she knew
Yeah,
that Harvey
yeah.
was a bad person. So it's like, that to me,
Why
is
did
that's
I
the
fall?
thing. Do you even really care? You're just wanting clicks. You know I'm not a pedophile, but that got you
How did I
clicks.
miss
You don't really
this?
care. So you put the story out there. It's like, I don't know, using the shooter's name and his face and his picture and this and
And
that.
endless stories about who he was and what he did, and
Yeah.
oh, we're so intrigued by this guy. Like, it's like you have people like Charles Manson who was like fangirls because how the media sensationalized him.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, and they have like this huge breaking story. Right after this, Harvey Weinstein actually raped 50 more women than we thought coming up after this Dr. Pepper ad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane.
But that's one part that really upsets me. The other part is like, this is a polarizing issue, but guys, this is my opinion, okay? I think that arming teachers is an objectively insane She's like, I think that in an objective world where we're all like, hey, well, here's a color. What color is that? We're all like, that's a blue. That's blue. I think in a world as objective as that, giving teachers guns is that fucking insane. It's pure lunacy.
I couldn't believe, like, on the way here, we were listening to the news, and they were talking about how this is the solution that is being suggested now, and I think Trump was saying that they're gonna, maybe they can offer bonus to teachers with guns.
We're strapped.
It's like, what? Is
We're devolving.
No.
We're gonna reward a teacher based on if they have a gun or not, and not based on how well they know physics.
Right. Like let's ignore actually teaching now. Let's focus our bonuses on if you're strapped.
Imagine going back into school and knowing that your teacher had a fucking gun. Like, I was afraid my teacher would, like, take away my Twizzlers or whatever. Imagine knowing she has a fucking gun.
Yeah.
And my teachers, and we talked about this earlier.
Yeah, we did.
I had 3 different teachers have mental breakdowns in class.
Me
One
too.
of my teachers got on a table, screamed, "I'm going to kill myself."
Are you serious?
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Where was
Through a
that? Where did you grow up?
This was in Long Beach, California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She was a nice lady, but she got a phone call.
Sweet lady,
The
by the
phone
way.
rang. She got a phone call. Just a second, kids. And then she started crying, and we were all just like, "Oh my god!" And then she hung up, and another teacher came in and comforted her. Her dad died in the hospital. Then she gets another phone call. Her brother died minutes later because he had a heart attack watching his dad. So she has these 2 things happen, and then somebody threw gum at her. Bitch move. Somebody threw gum at her, the grieving woman, got in her hair. She got up on the table, screamed she's gonna kill herself, threw a chair, and then ran out and never saw her again. Imagine if she had a fucking gun.
Yeah,
Like,
who
that is so
knows?
crazy.
Who knows?
Like, so, giving teachers guns, like, listen, I'm not political at all. Like, I'm not a left or a right. I don't care. I don't know. Whatever. But, like, to me, the fact that, like, all these people are like, stop politicizing, you know, the deaths of all these kids right away. Let the families grieve. It's like, well, if we don't politicize it right away, people get over stuff so fucking fast.
Yeah.
In a week, people are gonna be like, anyways.
Well,
This whole point doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand that.
I feel like they're genuinely
What is
just
the-
deflecting the actual. I think the actual solution to me is not selling AR-15s to mentally unstable children,
Yeah.
but they're deflecting that with this total bullshit proposition to give teachers guns, which is disingenuous because it's insane and will never happen. And so just long enough so that people forget, and then we can move on to the 19th shooting.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, because, like, what is the solution? I don't know anything about guns. I don't think we should take away guns. I don't care. That's not, like, my thing. But, like, what is the solution? Is it taking away so they shouldn't be able to buy? Because the gun that he used was crazy.
AR-15
That
is
kind
a
of gun, it killed 17 people in 7 minutes.
That's
I think it was even
crazy.
less.
Or maybe that's not the exact numbers, but something like that.
Yeah.
So why do you need that gun?
Yeah, what?
Stuff like that. Okay.
Hunting and stuff, like, you don't...
You don't use that for hunting.
Let me show you what an AR-15 looks like. My favorite gun of a school shooter. It's a military weapon. Semi-automatic. It's got a huge clip. Made to kill people.
And neither of us is an expert on this topic at all, but why do we even need to be experts to agree
Yeah.
that there's a problem here?
And the thing that frustrates me is, like, there's 2 people. Okay, guns. Like, let's have more. And I don't believe that we should take all guns away.
No.
I think that we should have common sense gun laws. So there's people who say, and then people dilute that even more. It's like, you're against all guns or you're for all guns. I'm for common sense gun laws, and so that's one person. And then the other person is, I forgot what I was
Well,
going to say.
the way I see it is there's a problem, you fix it. It's clearly a problem here. It's
Oh.
happened so many times.
Yeah,
like,
I
come from Israel, and in Israel, a lot of times you'll have all of a sudden a new trend of...
A new terrorist trend, you mean?
Yeah, a new terrorist trend of stabbings.
Oh, my God.
And I don't even know exactly what was the solution, but the country work on it, and then they figure a solution, and then it stops. It does. So this one seems so clear to me.
So, what I was going to say that I remember was it's either gun control or mental health. So I was like, okay, fine. If the people who are in charge think it's a mental health issue, so I don't understand.
Because if you have mental health issues, How
Yes.
was there proof?
Well, I guess they're saying it's like we need better treatment for these people. We need to fix the issue before they go in and buy a gun.
Interesting.
Doesn't seem. I think both are good, but as far as I can see, they're cutting. Healthcare is becoming less accessible. So I see if that's what they genuinely think it is, it's becoming it's becoming less effective.
Right.
I saw someone say like 9/11 happened once and nobody's used an airplane to crash into a building since then. It happened one time.
That is crazy that 9/11 happened and it changed everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
fucking the security lines got longer. You had to do
That's-
so many other things.
That was the point I was trying to make. Yeah.
So why-
If you figure out there's a problem, that repeats itself.
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually made a list
It's
of
just
reasons.
so enraging that so many kids keep dying. It's just.
It seems like there's a lot of reasonable people who think that we should be arming teachers. I made a list of reasons why it's insane. I don't know how deep I want to get into this.
Probably I've
Probably
gone
not.
already too deep. I
Probably
can only
too
imagine
deep, yeah.
what's going on in the chat. Move on.
There was a deputy at the school who was armed. He was an officer, and when the shooting began, he ran and hid. That is a trained deputy who was there to protect kids. What is a fucking teacher, a middle-aged female, a woman or man who spends his time around children supposed to do with a handgun against an AR-15 assault rifle? Ah, I missed. Oh, I'm dead with everybody.
Yeah.
And I shot a kid who was running because I panicked.
Oh my god.
You have if you have guns laying around, deranged kids are more likely to get them from a careless teacher. Whatever. Let's talk about conspiracy theories.
Well, speaking of the shooting, that's the biggest one right now. Is the
Right.
ISIS actor.
That's a good place to start. What do you think about Tell me about what that conspiracy is first.